Oh, hey, welcome back. So, I wanted to take a minute in this video to show you a little tip, a little trick, something that some people might take for granted, but I think it's crucial if you want to do any type of selling online. And that's, how do we pack up our item after we make a sale? So, I just happened to make a sale last night, and I want to take you along with me while we pack it up. So, we're going to start off, we'll hop right into the selling platform, and I'll show you where to locate the sale, how to print off your label, and then finally we'll finish it up by packing it all up, and I'll show you some of those little special touches that you can add to make that seller and buyer experience extra special. You've listed your item, you've posted it up, you've sold it. Now, the buyer's paid. So, if you take a look here, I'm right on my eBay page. I have paid, ship now, new for you. There's this new for you section. Alternatively, you'll get an email. Your app may notify you. You'll know you sold something. Cha-ching! It's a great sound. It's an awesome sound. So, let's take it from here. So we've sold this item. We're going to go ahead and click paid, ship now. All right, so it takes us to my eBay orders page. Now, if we follow the prompts, we can get a shipping label, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So, there's a few different ways to get shipping labels. You can use a third-party software like Pirate Ship, and I do a lot of that if I'm going to mail something to a friend or I haven't made a direct sale. However, when I sell on these sites like eBay and Mercari, I usually just follow their protocol because they typically tend to get cheaper discounted rates. So, we're going to go ahead and hit the Get Shipping Label. Alright, so there's some presets put in here, and the presets are a little bit light. So I always like to check the presets here. So we're going to go with the custom size, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how we measure that out right now. All right, so here's the item I sold. It's kind of an awkward sort of box. They're a little bit light and delicate, so we're going to take a little bit of extra care with this one. So, first thing you're going to need, tape measure, length, 1 foot, 12 by width. We'll just say another foot. It's actually 11 inches, but we'll just say a foot. So 12 by 12. And then for height, we'll say 4 inches. I like to round up because what you're going to need to do next is you find yourself a box. I just happen to have this box all folded up in the basement. So what we're going to first do, this is a great way of storing these boxes, is you just flatten them out when you get them, and you can just lay them and store them until you're ready to use them. So, tape gun. Second, super most important item. I use this thing almost every day. I use this tape gun. So, you get it ready. I use this big, fat, wide tape. That means with the wider tape and the tape gun, you make less passes. I've used places like Print Mall to order these supplies, and you can even go to Home Depot and some of the local hardware stores. eBay is really cheap to buy extra rolls of tape, and the more you buy, the better rate you get. So, about 12 by 12 by 4. We're going to go ahead and take this box, and if we go ahead and give it a quick fold here, how I like to do this, lay it nice and flat. So, the tighter the box, the better. I like to pack up my things nice, and the more security you put with your tape, the better. So, how I do this is I always put one across the middle here. I put one across the middle, and then I go one across the other way. And I always like to make sure that if there's any stragglers or anything hanging out here, I always like to cover it up because these run through automatic sorting machines, and you don't want any opportunity for anything to get caught. So we're going to go this way, the long way. All right, now here's the extra step. Now, I used to work at a place called PostNet, and here's an extra step. I thought it was, when I was younger, I thought it was silly at the time, but now that I'm older and I'm selling things on my own, it makes complete sense. So, to enhance those corners, to enhance these corners here and increase that durability, I like to run a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here. So let's go ahead and do that. What I do is I just kind of eyeball it, and I give it a rip. Put about half here, nice and snug on the sides, and then I go in and I give it a push right here on the side, like you're wrapping a package, wrapping paper, and then use my 2 fingers right here, and I push down, and then I give that a nice flattening. Okay, so now if you go and look, you got like a wrapping paper edge on there. If you give that a look, you got like a wrapping paper type edge. If you want to take it one step even further to make sure nothing gets snagged, you take off a small piece, you go on your perforations, and this takes a little practice, but you rip it down the middle. Thinner the tape, the harder this is to do. But then you can go ahead and put your tape right on these little edges to make sure that those don't ever flap and flop up, because they will if you don't do it just right. So you put that there. So now you have those corners completely taped down. There's no loose ends or stragglers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with this other side. Measure it out. Do my wrap here, and you can see how I've bent those corners in, then just a flat down. Boom, boom. All right, so now you have a nice sealed up box. From there, we go ahead and I like to give it a test. Put the merchandise inside of the box, and look at that. There's a little bit of wiggle room, little bit of play, and that's nice. That's good. You don't want it too tight, because then if the box gets cracked, it's going to immediately crack the second box. So I like to leave a little 1-inch border around the side, give it some room. So we're going to bend this down, and I'm going to center that right in the middle there. Centering it right in the middle. Okay? And I have, from when I was at Harbor Freight, just the other day, I got the flyer here. It's made of paper. You can go into your recycle bin. You can use packaging material from stuff you've bought at other retailers, on Amazon. There's stuff everywhere. You don't need to buy this stuff. I've never bought a single shipping supply besides a few small boxes. I've never bought any stuffing. The only thing I've bought is shrink wrap, which I'm going to show you right now, because now that we know this fits, this is a little extra touch I do when I'm selling my items. I put shrink wrapping around this plastic here, especially if it's a really nice figure and I know that they're a in-box collector and they keep it in the box. So what I do is I take out, and I'm running low, but this is some shrink wrap. I take out a little bit of shrink wrap and I cover this glass here. I call it the glass, the window. I cover this window, and that makes sure that you're protecting yourself. Because if this arrives and it's got scratches all on the glass and you didn't ship it that way, then this covers your butt. This protects you, and this makes for certain that the customer has a great experience. They receive this figure and they're like, wow, that person went the extra mile. They even covered up the glass, or the plastic screen on there. So now that that's nice and protected, now I'm going to go ahead and put it in the box. Now you can lay a layer down of peanuts if you have them. I've noticed that these ship, and I kind of like to ship them on that flat side because that kind of protects the card and it gives it some stability. So I have it laying in there just like this with my shrink wrap. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this paper, and I'm going to do like a light sort of edge, because this is going to go right on the sides here and provide just a little bit of an extra on this back side here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there, and then I'm going to put one up front here too. This is going to keep it from sliding around. You can even see shaking it. So that's going to keep it from sliding around because those corners kind of bend in. And now I have tons of these things, tons of this junk. I hate this stuff, but it works great, and unfortunately it's made of plastic. But I'm going to pack these in, and I use one, and I slightly, these are bubbles, okay? And they come off. You can size them. They have perforation. You can rip them right here. Some of them are kind of popped and light in air. These are popped. That's okay. So I put the whole thing in here, and I put a bubble in there lightly on the side. We're not going to press, and I just kind of gently move this along here until I get that other bubble kind of along this side right there. So now, when I close this box up, those bubbles will kind of get pressed in there a little bit. So it'll create a nice kind of cushion there. And there's actually one more bubble over here that I have that I think will certainly make that happen. And that's one more across here. So if I close it now, that's going to push all that air in there and create a nice pillow for this figure. And if you do this and you hear it wiggling around, you probably haven't put enough packing material in. So with that being said, this looks perfect. Now there's one more touch I like to do when I'm sending out a package to a customer, and that's to personalize it. What I have here is my personalization, Dom-Dom's personalization shipping kit. So, in here, I got a Garbage Pail Kid tin. I keep cards, stickers, fun stuff. So, I have a bunch of Garbage Pail Kid cards in here, bunch of stickers, bunch of fun stuff. So, through the years, I've accumulated some stickers. Buddy Chris of mine sent me just a ton of these Pokemon sleeves. So I always start off with a sleeve, throw a Pokemon energy card in, and then we'll just go with shrimps. Since shrimp, I love shrimp, so we'll put the shrimp card in here. We have Deveined Valerie. So we'll put that one in here. And since this isn't a kendama, I have a lot of kendama stickers, a lot of Sweets kendama stickers that I usually put in with kendama, but since this isn't a kendama, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give I only have a few of these left, one of my last special glitter Dom-Dom stickers. These are really cool. I love these. We'll go ahead and put that in the packet here. So they get two cards a sticker. I've had a friend of mine, Brooke, she'd make buttons at times, and those are great little additions to the packages. I love those. We're gonna go ahead and pack this up, and I grab a piece of paper. And I write them a quick note. All right, so there you have it. I have my note for the customer. And I'm going to go ahead and I just put it right here in the middle, and I put a little piece of tape on it so it doesn't slip and slide. So there it is. I got that right on the top. So when the customer opens up the package, they're like, ooh, Dom-Dom sticker, a little tiny little swag pack. Everyone loves a little swag pack. With these Amazon boxes, I like to just reuse them. There's so much waste in this world. Why not reuse one of these boxes and give it another life? So, same rules apply as with before. So there you have it. We're all sealed up. It feels great. There's no real wiggling or anything else in here. And now we have our exact measurements for our label to finish it up. We're going to go 14, 11, 6. 14 by 11 by 6. And I like to just write that right on the box in case you get sidetracked. 14 by 11 by 6. And now I have a scale. You got to have a scale if you're going to ship your own stuff. It just makes it so much easier, especially when you're in the lower end of the ounces and grams and things. So, turn on the scale. 1 pound, 0.484. So we're going to say 1.5. Yeah, we're going 1 pound, 5 ounces. So that's good because I think I said 1 pound, 14 ounces at first. And now that I've been able to weigh this out, it's only 1 pound, 5 ounces. So that might save us a few cents. And that little miscalculation in the beginning could cost you 60 cents. 60 cents adds up. So it's good to always accurately measure and weigh your packages. Now let's go and finish printing up that label now that we have these numbers. All right, so we're back into the shipping center on eBay. We're going to go ahead and start filling in the blanks here for our custom size now that we know those dimensions. So we have 1 pound, 5 ounces. For our dimensions, we were right with 14 by 11 by 6. Give it a second to tabulate here. And if we go down, we'll look and see the buyer selected USPS ground. So it's already pre-selected. You have some different options, ground saver, ground, and the buyer. I always go with what the buyer selected because there's typically a reason. Sometimes UPS, FedEx won't even go to certain remote locations. So we always go with what the buyer selected. So this tells us that it includes $100 of extra shipping. It'll deliver it on an estimate of the 17th to the 21st, and the price is $6.33. So it's as easy as that. All the customer's information is already in here. Typically, the defaults on all these types of applications will get you to the finish line. I like to read through them once just to make sure there's no misses or gotchas or anything like that, but it's typically pretty standard stuff. We're going to go ahead and use my funds. Since I still have funds in the account, it's just going to pull right from that. They usually send the money every 24 hours to your bank account, or you can use your PayPal account and pay here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use my funds, and I'm going to purchase the label. All right, so now I have the label, and it's popped right up into this easy to view preview here, and I have it set to my printer, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit the print button. All right, so there you have it. As easy as pie. I'm cutting my label out right now, and all I need to do is stick it on the box with some packing tape. I like to cover up those dimensions I wrote on the box and send it off to the USPS. Just walk on in. A lot of times you can just set it right on the counter, or you can open up the gate and you can bypass all the other customers. You don't need to wait in line to get a tracking number. You already have your tracking number, and you just go ahead, open up the gate, set your package in, close it, and off it goes. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.